responsibilities, more commitments. By that time, you probably should be out to your parents' house. No offense if it's 30 living home, but you really should look to
Rest.
find a place.
Perspective is a podcast about everything. The twist though is all me. My name is Maria Peters, and as a young social worker and business owner, I dare to believe I have a lot of valuable things to contribute to society. I decided to start this podcast simply to use my story to influence other lives and generate conversation. Perspective is on air.
Hello! No, because I have this problem. I really have a problem with my intros. So if you watch, like, first four episodes, I start, hi guys, then one, two, like, hi
guys,
hello, like, I don't want to that hello, just kind of slip out, hello, you know what, like, pretend I didn't say that word. I'll just, welcome back to Perspective. My name is Maria Peters. This is Perspective, the podcast, and I'm happy that you decided to give me some minutes of your time to watch this episode. I am grateful for all the love, all the comments, the shares, everything that you all do to just support, and it really, really warms my heart. So we're here again. I promise you all that every episode this season we'll have a guest, and I hope all you can appreciate that I'm honoring my promise. This is an episode more at the end, and we have a guest. We have a guest. This is a guest. He's not here just to sit down and watch me talk about my perspective. He's here to share his perspective as well. His name is Sherron Charles. I can say my name. I think more people know as that. Sherron Jabari Charles. Right. And we have things to talk about, as always. But do you want to say anything before we greet the people? Tell them, you know.
When I was driving here, I was thinking, how do I introduce myself? Sherron Charles or Sherron Jabari Charles?
Right. I covered both.
You covered the both.
That's what I say. Like you don't tell anybody
about me?
About yourself,
yeah. My name is Sherron Jabari Charles, as we have repeated a few times now.
Right.
I am 35 years of age.
This was age. I didn't even ask.
I am an entrepreneur. When I left school, I started a business in music, a music studio.
Okay, that's what I mean. That's it. You feeling nervous?
No.
Okay.
Called Studio 53, and for some years.
I was looking at you, but it's like I feel like you don't really speak like this. I just want to know, like, if the person on camera.
Is all this recording? You got to edit this?
No. Just I just want it to be natural. Speak to me. Tell me what you said.
Hi Maria.
Hi. Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Yeah.
My name is Sherron Charles.
Right.
In case you don't know, some
Right.
people know me as Jabari.
Right.
I am an entrepreneur.
Right.
When I left school, I started a music business.
Right.
Called Studio 53.
53?
Studio 53.
Studio 53.
Right. And some years later, I went to university. I went into the whole 9 to 5 life, 8 to 4 life, and then I started a business called Brand and Expressions.
Brand and Expressions. If you know me, you know I used to work for Sherron. Sherron used to be my boss. Yeah.
If you want to put it like that. Maria is my co-worker.
That's true though. I really used to struggle with calling him my boss. I used to be like, this is my employer. You know? Anyways, but we get the point. That's the point. I used to work for Brand and Expressions. It's great. We'll get into that just now. But that's everything else you want to say in terms of intro?
No.
Right. We're gonna get into conversation, and anything that you ain't hear yet, you will hear as we go on in conversation. The topic, the theme of our discussion today is 8 to 4 versus entrepreneurship. Not necessarily versus as in which one is better, which one is more productive, because that's a whole other conversation, and it really is kind of subjective. But we want to know, he has an 8 to 4 and a business, and I sometimes get earful about the experience, and I feel like it's something that should be it should be a more public conversation, because he's a young person who have experiences like that or feelings like that, and I just want to put it out there. So we're going to talk about that struggle, the what do you call it? What's the word to describe it?
Finding the balance.
finding the balance. Okay, tell me. That I shocked now. I listen.
Oh,
I thought it was a bit more like you're tugging between the two, and which one you're more drawn to as opposed to. But the balance kind of seems like you want to do the both. You're trying to figure out how to balance.
well, when you're 18, 19, 20 years old,
Right.
it's easy to just say, well, all right, I have a business, and if the business make money this month, I'm good.
That's
If
true.
it don't make any money, so that's why I advise a lot of young people, if they fall in their dreams and their dreams is taking them into a business,
Right.
don't focus too much on the profits
Right.
at first, because at 18, 19, you really don't need money, to be honest. Right? Maria disagree with that. But at 18, 19,
Yes,
you really don't need money.
Right.
Right?
Because what?
Because you don't really, well, everybody's circumstances is different.
Right.
Some people, they may probably have to take care of a younger brother or sister.
Right.
They probably have to take care of their parents, that kind of thing. So they may need money.
So it's,
right?
it's really not that age thing he's implying. I guess it's the typical, quote unquote typical, or what's the word, boy? Expected stage that you might be at that age. You finish university or you go to school or whatever, you're home, you're with your parents, there's feed you, there's give you money, and you don't really need that steady stream of income.
Yeah.
That I agree with. I don't know what the 18, 19. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they don't already have any responsibilities,
Right.
and they think it's best for them, they need to make money.
Right.
And that desire to make money when you're just starting,
Right.
that will cause you to end up going to 8 to 4 and not really pursuing your dreams, because sometimes you may have a great idea,
Right.
but it may take 5-6 years
Right.
for it to really come to fruition
Right.
and make money consistently.
Right.
Right? But when you're older, you have responsibilities. You may have
Bills.
bills. You know, bills.
Yeah.
You know, the whole adulting thing.
Yeah.
Right? So you need money. You probably move out, and so because of that, then you will actually need to be making money.
Right.
Right? So when you reach that stage, you may still want to pursue your entrepreneurial goals.
Right.
But so now we have to find a balance
Right.
in terms of how you balance it too. So that is what I mean by in terms of
Understand.
balance.
Because you want to pursue your dreams and do what you love and what you're passionate about. But just in case 1 month that does not generate the amount of money that you envisioned, your landlord or landlady and your loans officer don't want to hear that. I know that you have your personal experience, your personal journey, having managing both. So I want to know if you think you found that balance or you're searching for the balance still.
Still searching for the balance,
Okay.
but that's when I spoke to Ziggy
Right.
to bring you on board.
Right.
It was with that in mind. I knew it would be difficult for me to keep up with all the orders in terms of getting them done in a timely manner.
Right.
So I said that, okay, if I bring somebody on board to assist me,
Right.
then it will make it much easier
Right.
for me to just run the business while you handle the production.
And run the business is run the business and work.
Yeah.
Your job.
Work your 9 to 5.
9 to 5.
8 to 4.
8 to 4.
Right? So I think the best way for somebody to find a balance is you have to get assistance. You have to get assistance in terms of taking orders, in terms of somebody coming up,
Social
somebody
media,
executing
all
the
of
social
those
media and
things,
those kind of things. You know, you must. That is the only best way to find the balance, because it's real difficult to
Right.
work during the day and then come in night and do more work.
Yeah.
Right? There are a lot of people who could do it,
Right.
but there are a lot of people who it will be a bit more difficult.
Right.
Me, it was a bit more difficult for me. So that's why I had you on board and
Right.
whatnot. Right?
Okay.
And since you have gone on to greener pastures,
To other things.
right? I know how to, and I make a decision not to bring on anybody
Right.
now to do.
Basically saying that you can't replace Maria and her work ethic career.
Right?
I think it should just because Touch phone. I make it.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, so now what I am doing is if we were offering 5 services, we're offering 3 now.
Just something that's more manageable for you alone.
Something that's manageable for me, right?
Right.
Yeah, because the business right now is going through a transition stage, right? So to maintain the balance, I have to do so you can't try to have balance. I want to make the most money in the world.
Oh yeah, there's something I gotta give.
Something I have to give.
Basically, something I gotta
until
give.
we
More
clothe
stable.
Maria
Yeah.
and we have
Right.
yeah, Maria Pike 2.0 assistant.
2.0 boy,
and,
that's a person. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But how working, you're 8 to 4
Yeah.
and running your business.
Mhm.
What is the effect of the 8 to 4 on the business? Outside of what you said in terms of time wise, what else is challenging? I know these things, but I feel like people need to know. Because he has talk about being tired. And let me tell you, because this is go ahead, you say. Tell the people.
Well, when you work at 8 to 4, in my opinion, your workday starts the minute you get up
Right,
and it finishes the minute you reach home.
right,
So sometimes you get up for 6 o'clock
right,
and then you reach home 5 o'clock.
right.
So in my opinion,
Yeah.
I'm working for 11 hours.
Right.
Because the additional 3 hours
Yeah. Commute
is driving through the
Traffic.
back and
Yeah.
forth in traffic.
Yeah.
Right? So that is why I will say, Maria, I'm tired.
Yeah. And what's the effect of that on so when you reach home, you finish, you're done working 11 hours.
Mhm.
You don't have no energy left to
Well, you rest and then you do the quality control to see how.
But what's that like in terms of motive? I can speak for myself.
Mhm.
I might reach home. When they say I didn't sleep much and before whatever, I would get up early and then whatever I reach home.
Yeah.
And aside from being tired, I just don't have the motivation to do anything. I don't feel
Mhm.
like doing anything.
Yeah.
How do you push past that? But
Rest.
I can sleep by still get one. So when you get up, you just feel motivated.
Yeah, 'cause I'm a morning person.
Oh.
So sometimes, so when we're working as a team,
Right.
the things that I would have done, most of the
Right.
things I do is when I will get up 3 o'clock in the
Right.
morning,
Right.
and from 3 to like 6,
Right.
I will be grinding.
Right.
I'll be doing work, doing my part,
Right.
and then from 6 you get ready to go to work.
Right.
So Daisy,
So you reach home 5 whatever, you could sleep until 3.
well, let me just relax, spend time with the family, and
Right.
that kind of thing, and then after you try to get in the bed early, by about 10, get 5 hours sleep, wake up 3, and
5 hours sleep is sufficient?
no, it's not.
No.
It's not. It's
Yeah, I know it's not.
It's
I just,
but and it affects your productivity the next day in the 8 to 4. You know?
it's a cycle, guys. A cycle.
It's a kind of situation like that
Yeah.
now, right? So yeah, but that is how I was doing it, you know, when we were working as a team.
What would you say, like, coming out a young person coming out of secondary school, coming out of university, want to get a job, but they have this dream
Mm-hmm.
of being a business owner or whatever? Your advice to them is get a steady job, a steady stream of income, and build a dream inside?
No.
Oh, I mean, simultaneously, no? What is this?
Go 100% into your dream.
Okay.
100% into your dream, because as I say, according to your situation,
Right.
you do not need $5,000 a year
Right.
any month,
Right.
And when the money is not on your mind, and building your business or
It's
following your
priority.
passion is
Yeah.
a priority,
Yeah.
you can build something better
Yeah.
than if you focus on making
If you
the money.
need the
Because
money.
when money is our motivation, or we think we need the money,
Right.
we take shortcuts,
Hmm.
and if we don't take shortcuts, we will eventually get frustrated because we're only seeing that it's not making money,
Right.
and within a very short time
Right.
you end up in an 8 to 4.
Right.
And when you end up in the 8 to 4, you're gonna reach about 30, working 8 to 4 for 10 years, and it's like,
hating your life.
I really hate this job, you know.
Yeah.
I really hate this job. So you don't
You hate
really
your
want
job?
to. No, I don't.
Oh, you like your job?
Actually, like what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like what it then okay.
Yeah, I like what I do. I like what
Okay.
I do. So a lot of people. So that's what happened. There's a lot of people story. A lot of people will tell you.
Right.
Yeah, when I was 20, I used to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And then I end up working,
Mm-hmm.
and I fall into all the traps at work. When you start to work,
Right.
you fall into all the traps. You might take a loan, you might
Buy a car.
You might
Yeah, that's traps.
things what not important in the grand scheme of things you start to do.
And it have no return, no immediate return.
And the advice I give young people out there is that when you fall into those traps, it's difficult to get out. So when you're 30, you can't say, you know what, I going back to what I was doing when I was 20. It wasn't making money, but I love it. But now you have that car to pay off. You
don't have the luxury.
Rent, you don't have the luxury. So the best thing to do is to build your dream and see where it goes. Of course, you can't be 30 still trying to build a dream. You know, you have to. Eventually, life happens. Life happens, you know. You know, you meet a guy.
I'll find it for 30-year-old,
You meet a guy,
right.
and you really like him.
So suppose I don't want to be. I am a career-driven woman.
Alright. How old are you again, Maria?
That's not the question. I'm just saying, suppose I'm a 30-year-old career-driven woman. I'm not interested in a relationship or marriage or children.
Yeah, well, hats off to you.
So I can still build my dream and that concerning those things?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that you fall into the 3% now.
3% of what?
A woman who at 30, they don't have the car or the family and that kind of thing.
I find you offended. Some
not the family, but you know, but by 30 you would
okay, so
want
I think
things.
so what we're saying is that by 1920 you could go full hard on build your dream.
Yeah.
But by 30 your dream either had to be generating steady income or you had to find a balance.
You can still keep going, you know, you can still keep going, but most people by that time they will have some kind of need for a steady income.
Understand. More responsibilities, more commitments. Mm-hmm. By that time, you probably should be out to your parents' house. Mm-hmm. No offense if it's 30 living home, but you really should look to find a place. Your mother won't tell you, your father won't tell you, but I will just speak on behalf of them. Look to find a place. Yeah. But
let me say one thing. Home ownership and renting is difficult for lots of people who have jobs and whatnot.
Right.
So if somebody is trying to build their dream,
right.
My advice to them is if you're still pressing at 30, live with mommy, live with daddy, because it's hard to build your dream and be on your own.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Felt. It's true. It's true. That is true.
You care to share?
Care to share what?
Any experience that you may know of like that?
Like what? Being on my own? And
like being on your own and the challenges and whatnot.
Well, I was sharing with, I can't remember, somebody I was talking to. Mm-hmm. And somebody was asking me to put up towards something, towards purchasing something. And I said, yeah, no problem, I could give you $700 that I want. Just know that I had to let my landlady know the name one that was $700 short. Mm-hmm. Because I don't have $700 put on there to give you for that whatever now. Mm-hmm. It's because, like, while I have a steady income, mm-hmm. I also, like, when I add up the expenses, the money that comes from my business and other streams of income also as important as mm-hmm. the steady income. It's not like I could say, oh, I have a job, I can quit all these other things. I stopped working for Sherron, guys, and then I almost called him back and say, what's that? You still have space? I was like, You know, Maria, keep pushing. And we had a conversation, him and I had a conversation before. He's like, you know, Maria, when he was subneeding money, like, me, I tell him, I was like, I don't need your money. And then afterwards, I was like, and then we start right in front, I tell him, I don't need your money, what are you talking about? And afterwards, like, damn man, you really gave me some cushion. Like, you really gave me some cushion. I mean, I don't need money, I still pay my bills, but, you know, I might be able to buy a little sweetie anyway home, and now I don't want the sweetie and pass sweetie straight. And I can't go to my mother and say, Mommy, can I have $2 extra to buy sweetie because my mother...
But the only time, I was like, wow, I was like, Maria get through. Get through. And
I think it's not that, it's just that, I guess the best thing to do is have as much financial freedom as you could.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able, I'm not saying, it's not like, I'm not saying cut off your nose and spoil your face to have money. But if you're able to manage your time in a way that, you know, you could balance everything and make as much money as possible, of course not burn out yourself or anything. Make the money. Don't, you never reach now. You never, I mean, some people are rich. But if you're watching my podcast, you probably ain't rich unless I happen to end up in a Westmore's house. But the point that's the point I'm making, give yourself that financial freedom. And I learned that, you know, post telling Sherron, I don't really need money. And it's true, I still could, you know, accept the thought of it's not a need, but it definitely is helpful. And yeah, so I saying felt on your point because I live on my own, rent had to pay, phone bill had to pay. And then there's a business expense and personal expense. Then you start to get mixed up when it's a lot of manage. And in terms of my business have business expenses. And I had to figure out what to pay, which card to I just go out and like, okay, what is this for, Maria? I might be buying food and it's like personal card or business card. But buying food, my business card is I need to eat to my business to run. Mm-hmm. So I might have to spend money over that card. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like it's just a lot of factors to consider. And the point is they don't have that freedom of mommy and the other extra.
Yeah.
Not me, because I pick up myself and I mean, I'm not saying I pick up myself, but this is just the part that I've taken. And that is hard, as you say, it's hard to try to build a dream and live on your own and have these expenses.
And if you go up to the topic, which is 8 to 4 versus entrepreneurship.
I mean, I'm 8 to 4.
The security, that's what people who prioritize 8 to 4.
Yeah.
They will stability they
that's
go
very
for.
true.
You know, because once they do what needs to be done, and they don't get fired.
Yeah.
Money running.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When you're an entrepreneur, you start at zero. On the first of every month, you start at zero.
Yeah.
So you are the grind.
And some days you make, and it's like, woof, we love that. Then other days,
some days you have to grind.
Yeah, boy.
Some days you have to grind. But every day you have to come out and grind just to pay the bills.
Yeah, and you still have a profit, you know. You
sometimes I see people saying they on the grind and they 8 to 4 and I say with all due respect. All due respect, the grind. The grind is when you're an entrepreneur and you're starting from zero on the first every month.
You have to grind.
And then the next thing is that sometimes we see a business person make $5,000 this week. Yeah. But as revenue.
Yeah.
And a profit.
Yeah. When you cut down the expenses, I took to carry that $5,000.
It's probably, let me say, it's $4,000 to make that $5,000.
You make $1,000.
And then after now, $500 have to go back into the business to replenish stock and that kind of thing. So $500 is yours.
Yeah. And I appreciate this whole trying to find that balance thing. He was saying that, you know, when you're younger, you could go hard building dreams. When you're older, you can find that balance. I had the younger side, so I feel like I could still kind of go hard building my dreams, but now I'm appreciating that finding balance because bills don't go away. It don't go away when you don't make money. Bills just be there. Yeah. And it have to be paid. Nobody cares. And I feel like COVID showed me that in a different way. And not of a personal experience, but for friends and family members or whatever. The bank them don't care. They don't care. Like, you know, working, they don't care you lost your job. You just have to pay your installment. They have to pay your insurance. And if you're blessed to have a job, to be employed in this economic climate,
for real.
That's great. And I guess you should just not take it as a need to sacrifice what you want to do. sacrifice what you're passionate about. It's very possible to balance the both. It's very possible to balance the both, you know.
Yeah.
Providing that you have good time management skills. And I guess I got support system too, because sometimes you just won't be able to put you and you have to be able to, you know.
But in my example, you come up with a good system in your business where you're not doing everything.
Right.
So you playing a role on the back end.
Yeah.
You
I'm
have
managerial.
You're managing the business.
Yeah.
You have other people who involved in the production, in the marketing and whatnot. And you price your products in a way that
you can afford
to replenish stock, and pay staff and retain some profits.
Some profits.
And then to be honest with you, I barely pay myself for my business.
Yeah.
Everything goes right back into the business.
Me too.
You know, so that's the thing when you're building.
When you're building, yeah.
So we spoke before about when you just start and you're young, it's not making money. When it starts to make money, you can't even start to take home profit as yet. Yeah. Right?
People don't understand that, you know. People, they run into entrepreneurship and they just figure, you know, you sell a sweetie and all the money from sweetie is yours. How much money it costs to produce that, and how much money you have to put back into business to produce more?
I actually told somebody that if I ever get if I ever get an opportunity to speak to young people about entrepreneurship, my opening statement will be something to discourage them about entrepreneurship.
Right.
Because they need to understand that it's not glorious.
Yeah.
It is glorified, and more so now with social media.
Yeah.
Right? But it's hard. It's really hard because imagine I'm saying when you start off, you may not be making money, but you're building. Then when you start to make money, everything has to go back into the business. It takes years,
not long it takes to develop a business.
And then eventually, if you're good enough, because the game must spit you out at different stages, and the passion and whatever. You might realize nah, there's too much next enough for me and I might just feel.
Yeah.
Then when you start to make money, it might feel at that stage. Then when you reach and you start to make money for yourself, you could feel too.
Yeah,
you know,
you just get burnt out. It's like you're fed up. The only passion you had is not enough to keep you going. It's not enough to push you.
Because
it's hard.
I could give you so my business, my first business, Studio 53, we were a music production company, right? And that was passion. Three youths from Larkata had a dream to make music, making music, music playing all over the place, artists them singing and whatnot, you know? But we were still on that passion only stage now. Yeah. We weren't making actual dollars to survive, but we were young. So the passion was full in the belly now, right? And but then eventually, when you start to get a little older, and you realize we're not really making money.
Yeah, financial
and
feasibility.
Yeah, waiting on royalties. It's not that much. We don't really have like not ticket sales, like album sales and that kind of thing. And to make money in music is complex, right? And our business model wasn't making money for us, right? We won't go into details on it, but it wasn't making money for us to sustain ourselves, right? So by about 4 years, the company didn't fold, but it didn't make much sense. We put the amount of energy we was putting into it, you know. So that's how the game is, you know. And we could I saw a lot of youths watching what we were doing and saying, "Wait, them fellas probably living the life."
Let me tell you, boy, people looking in, they think one thing, and it's often very different.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that having an 8 to 4 to generate that steady income to build your business for a period is also okay. Like you just have a 8 to 4 and you make a plan within 3 years, 5 years. That's all. I'm gonna save X amount of money. I'm gonna do whatever, and within this amount of time, I'm gonna be through with it. That's fine. But I kind of feel like, especially straight out of school, depends on where you choose to work. It have a lot of like people look down on it now. People look down on the places that people choose to be employed or whatever, and I just kind of feel like, but why? Like, if you had to work KFC for your 3 years or 5 years, whatever, to build a dream, if that's your choice, that's fine. Like that's fine. Is there's no right way. That's the best way to put it. There's no right way or no wrong way. People, especially entrepreneurs, who have this hyper, I don't even know what to call it, view of entrepreneurship, who is looked down on people with an 84. That's pretty crazy. Because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I feel like we established that already. And just to reiterate, it really is not for everybody. And some people just really like stability. They just like knowing that with paycheck.
But pivoting on the point you're making there, sometimes the best way to build your dream in terms of entrepreneurship is working and building it. And
simultaneously.
At the same time, and then you just transition into full-time business. Because sometimes you need capital to start.
I mean, you need capital. Unless you're related to, I'm going to call my name on them.
Right. So you need capital to start. And the answer to the question, which is how do I get this capital? Maybe I have to
find a job.
Right? But I think I didn't touch on when I was 19. I was in the OGT program, and then I worked at sports and games. But what I did was, I was barely spending a bad cent. I was just saving, and then I waited until I went to the States. And when I went to the States, I bought some stuff for the studio. So that is how you start sometimes, But anytime you start to work and you fall into the trappings.
Ooh, yeah, we talk about chops already. Chops. The monotony.
You will forget your whole plan.
Why you was going at it, I feel like we touched on a lot of things. The initial conversation we were having is on like the whole point of entrepreneurship. I keep saying entrepreneurship versus 8 to 4, but it's really not versus. It's more like what is it? It's like in comparison to. Does that mean versus?
Yeah, that means versus. I mean, in your mind, versus sounds combative and that kind of thing, but I think
contextually,
I think a lot of people does see.
Yeah, contextually, the versus makes sense. Right, so that's the conversation. But we went on to a lot of things. The traps of quote unquote traps, because somebody out here offended, but the traps of working at 8 to 4, as well as the struggles of being a business owner, there really is no right or wrong way. It's just the way that's best for you, the way that works best for you, the way that's most profitable for you, the way that's most enjoyable for you, the way that gives you the most peace. It's very subjective. There is no X person did this, so I should do this because it was profitable. Because you could try to do the exact thing that X person did and generate nothing sense. Because it's just not for you. And that's just the reality of life. Do that introspection and figure out what's best, what course you want to take, and I guess what may be best within a particular season. Because you don't have to choose something and let that be your life. It could just be, this is what it is for the next 3 years, 5 years, 3 months, whatever. But that's up to you to decide, basically. You have anything to share with people before we bring it up?
Well, my t-shirt is my
big plug.
Is my personal slogan, happiness equals success, and it is in line with a couple of things we were speaking about today. Is that happiness equals success is me redefining success. Right? We see success as somebody who is wealthy. We see it when you have a position, or things like that, but we forget happiness. Right? And we have to start seeing that happiness, if I'm happy, I'm successful. Right? And I wear this all the time to remind myself that once I am happy, I am successful.
Yeah.
So here we could chase the other goals, but once we are happy,
I
we
guess
are
it's
successful and an entrepreneur. If
Yeah.
or somebody who may just be happy working the 8 to 4 and
Right.
coming home and taking care of the family, they're successful.
Yeah.
But the world don't see them as successful.
Yeah. And that really does not, as hard as it is to I guess, deal with, it really doesn't matter. Because we tend to get in the trap of, I will be happy when I accomplish X or when I acquire X. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you really seek all that happiness in the process, you know, that fulfillment of the journey. It's something real cliche. I feel like if I was watching this, I would be like, oh God, just she. But it's true. It's true. That is where the fulfillment is at. When you wake up and you do everything you're supposed to do, you can go to sleep and feel like, yeah, I accomplished something today. Yeah, that's happiness and that's success. And really, it trumps the whole what is right and what is wrong in relation to how you should live your life, career-wise, basically. Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yep.
Drop your plugs, huh? Your handles.
Follow Brandon_expressions on Instagram, Brandon Expressions TT on Facebook, and look out for BrandonExpressionsTT.com.
See you all, guys. I'm so happy. Okay, this is Perspective the Podcast. My name is Maria Peters, and we out until next week.
Jerusalem, ikayalami.